Brazil is a land of vibrant cultures, stunning landscapes, and endless energy. It is not only recognized for its biodiversity, food, and soccer, but also for its people, who are known for their hospitality and warmth. These characteristics apply to people from different regions of Brazil, from the most famous cities to those areas where the stories of their inhabitants are usually forgotten. And sharing these stories is what motivated the filmmaker Lucy Walker to create the documentary Wasteland. This powerful documentary tells the story of renowned artist Vic Muniz, as he embarks us on a journey to Jardim Gramacho, one of the largest garbage dumps in the world. Muniz works with a group of 6 inspiring catadores to create striking works of art that mimics famous paintings using materials from the garbage dump. And in his desire to assist the catadores and change their lives, Muniz also finds himself changed with this project. The documentary employs a combination of personal anecdotes, visual imagery, and a chronological structure to narrate the film in order to emphasize the dignity and resilience of the catadores while addressing issues of social inequality. Through these rhetorical choices, the director accomplishes the goal of fostering empathy and effectively communicates the power of art to challenge societal perceptions of diverse communities.
The documentary consists of several testimonies from the people involved in the project, and it is through these stories that the viewers empathize with the catadores' life stories, as these declarations are full of honesty, strength, and hope.
Quando a gente começou a pensar em fazer esse negócio aqui, todo mundo ficava debochando. Ih, maluco, não sei o que, isso não vai dar em nada. Associação pra quê? Porque nunca vão ter.
Tião is one of the catadores of the dump landfill, but he is also the leader of the Association of Recycling Pickers of Jardim Gramacho, responsible for ensuring that his co-workers receive their due entitlements. By describing his goals for the progress of Jardim Gramacho, the enthusiasm, passion, and commitment Tião feels for this role is conveyed by the way he expresses himself, firmly stating,
They said I would never get anywhere, that it would never work. But I believed in it, and I said no.
And by doing so with such determination, it allows the audience to understand how much he takes pride in his work and will move forward no matter what adversities come his way.
E agora até que eu acredito que quando a gente quer, põe uma coisa na cabeça, você consegue, cara.
On the other hand, the documentary introduces to Magda, another one of the catadores, who, due to her husband's unemployment, turned to the job to support her family. Her testimonies reflect the transformative power of art and how important it is to have dignity over one's own life decisions.
Cheguei ao ponto de dizer para uma senhora, vem cá, eu tô fedendo, tá sentindo mau cheiro, é porque eu estava trabalhando lá no lixão.
At the start of the film, Magna, while always honoring her work by standing up for herself,
Tô fedendo, mas chegar em casa tomar banho fica melhor. Mas é nojento.
still recognized that it wasn't an ideal job, as she described it as disgusting.
Quando eu fui trabalhar ali, eu me sentia com vergonha de falar para as pessoas. Eu me escondia o máximo. Eu escondia da minha família que eu trabalhava lá. E depois de trabalhar com o Vic Muniz, eu cheguei para todo mundo, encarei e falei, ó, tô trabalhando lá no lixão, entendeu? Aconteceu assim, assim, assim. Foi uma consequência da vida. E parei de ter vergonha.
But once the project was over, she was no longer ashamed of working at Jardim Gramacho. This can be seen in her body language, with her hand on her waist, and in her determination to face her family and admit the truth about her job. An attitude that she was able to change thanks to the fact that this project allowed her to see that a picture of her working as a garbage collector could end up in an exhibition at the Museum of Modern Art.
The documentary presents several shocking images that are intended to evoke strong reactions from its viewers. From the huge pile of garbage in which people work every day, to the videos of small children living in hard conditions, one of the most shocking snapshots is the image of Jardim Gramacho's cook, Irma.
Irma is in charge of feeding the other garbage collectors, often preparing the food she finds in the garbage dump in good condition. Be it potatoes, meat, or pasta, whatever the weather conditions, she always has the food ready.
By showing her cooking, the director creates a contrasting image by focusing on food and garbage in the same shot, two items that are never associated with each other, making the audience realize that this is the reality of life for catadores, and yet they receive it with great appreciation. This documentary is told in a chronological structure, starting with Vic Muniz talking about his project and explaining how he's going to accomplish it, then showing how he arrives at Jardim Gramacho, how he begins to meet the catadores and begins to explain his project to them, then showing the development of his idea, and finally presenting how they sell the paintings, exhibit the art in a museum, and how in the end everyone's lives was changed because of this project.
This organization to narrate the documentary allows the audience to see the development of the project and the process of realization of the catadores to understand, thanks to Vic Muniz, that there are more opportunities than just working in the garbage dump, making the viewers create a sense of empathy towards the workers, as the audience was allowed to see their transformation intimately.
The biggest change, however, was the closure of Jardim Gramacho in 2012. Although the documentary tries to present this as a positive thing, the report Decade Thrown in the Trash by the television station Globo Rio shows that this decision was not so well received. For instance, they present the article 10 years after landfill closure, former Jardim Gramacho waste speakers live in poverty and unsanitary conditions,
which includes testimonies about the current situation of the former catadores, such as the case of Susana Maria de Jesus,
a woman who started working at Jardim Gramacho when she was 5 years old, and in order to raise her 5 children, she saved enough money to buy a house made of bricks and cement, which was rare to find in that area. All of this so that in the end she didn't even have access to clean water in the house, for which she affirmed that, "I'm living my life the same way and I'm happy, but if the landfill came back, I will go back to work there."
By presenting the testimony of someone who wanted to continue working at the landfill, the article refutes the idea presented by the documentary that closing the landfill was the best decision.
Because, as it is shown in this infographic, the mayor's office did not fulfill its promises to improve the quality of life of the workers and ended up closing the opportunity for many people to have a job that, despite its many flaws, was the way many people earned a living. Furthermore, there is a report that tells the opinion of Cheon Santos, a prominent figure in the documentary Wasteland, who comments that despite having achieved great things in his life and being at the Oscar ceremony thanks to the documentary, he says that my biggest Oscar hasn't happened yet.
This shows that despite the various goals he has achieved, as presented in Wasteland, the documentary falls short in telling his story.
As he says that there was not enough emphasis on the importance that being a catador has had in his life, and that regardless of what the film shows, he affirms that his happy ending has not yet arrived.
Although the documentary fails in certain aspects by not presenting a variety of opinions, both for wanting to continue working at Jardim Gramacho and for not continuing to work. Nevertheless, the documentary does a good job through the use of anecdotes, provocative images, and a chronological narrative structure that emphasizes the dignity and strength of the catadores while confronting issues of inequality. And through these deliberate choices, the director successfully promotes awareness and demonstrates the power of art to influence people's perspectives.